India's aircraft carrier versus Chinese aircraft carrier strategy and failure. A Chinese military strategist at a People's Liberation Army Navy think tank has dubbed India's aircraft carrier strategy a failure, calling for China to expand its own carrier program as the PLA Navy readies its aircraft second carrier. Liu Qiu of the Naval Equipment Research Institute of the PLA Navy said that the recent decommissioning of INS Virat, which left India with one aircraft carrier, had shown that India's long-time strategy to dominate the Indian Ocean with 3 aircraft carriers was falling flat. India reply. India has been operating aircraft carriers for decades, starting from its first one, INS Vikrant, then to Virat and now Vikramaditya. In the future it is looking at operating the new Vikrant, most likely in Visakhapatnam for its proximity to China. The threat scenario during the era of Virat was different as compared to now, when there is growing Chinese naval activity in areas surrounding India. And if a conflict breaks out, India needs to be better prepared in regard to the protection of its carriers, explained an expert. China, on the other hand, has built ships and submarines to protect its first aircraft carrier, Lining. Although being a formidable neighbor, China may not fall in comparison with decades of experience in carrier operations which India has, but the former is building itself as a naval power. In September 2012, China had commissioned the Lining, procured from Ukraine and then reworked upon. In November 2016, it was reported that the carrier was combat-ready. It is now quickly building its second one, Type 001A, and reports are emerging of its third carrier, Type 002, being built. While experts said India has the experience in operating the air wings from carriers, what is badly needed for the Vikramaditya and future carriers is protection and support against submarines. This can be done in the form of a carrier battle group. This means more ships and anti-submarine helicopters, said a naval expert. He said there were lessons for China from India's experience, and that it should carry on with its aircraft carrier program as well as enhance civilian-military integration to boost capabilities. His comments came as Chinese military officials signaled that China's second aircraft carrier, its first homegrown one after the refitted Lining, would be ready for sea trials by 2019. At the ongoing session of China's National People's Congress or Parliament, which announced a 7% hike in defense spending, several military experts have called for a boost to the Navy's funding and to expand the aircraft carrier program. PLA Navy Rear Admiral Yin Zhou, who is also a member of Parliament, said China needs 2 carrier strike groups in the West Pacific Ocean and 2 in the Indian Ocean. So, we need at least 5 to 6 aircraft carriers. In the article, the PLA Navy expert, Liu Qiu, said that Indian Navy strategists had envisaged 2 aircraft carriers in order to dominate the Indian Ocean and control the Bay of Bengal east of India and the Arabian Sea, and a 3rd aircraft carrier as a mobile force to provide quick aid or sail to other sea areas. India's ocean strategy. However, in comparison to India's ocean strategy, its aircraft carrier development hasn't been a plain sailing. First, India isn't capable of independent ship R&D and modification. Second, India's strategic layout isn't consistent with its overall national strength. He also said India had a carrier complex and mistook the deterrence of aircraft carrier for combat capability. It is imperative to develop aircraft carriers, but it cannot be hurried through. Not all carrier-borne aircraft can be put into combat, but India insisted on increasing the number of aircraft carriers under such circumstances. Indian Navy continuously growing in strength. Although no large-scale warfare broke out in the Indian Ocean in the past few decades, The Indian Navy is continuously growing in strength, and the existence of aircraft carrier especially deters other countries along the Indian Ocean from violating India's marginal islands. In peacetime, an aircraft carrier is an effective naval vessel that displays deterrence and protects regional and world peace. He said China should also continue to reinforce its innovation and R&D capability rather than, as in India's case, rely on imports, and also make steady progress with combat capability as the top priority rather than in haste. India has the experience in operating the air wings from carriers. What is badly needed for the more carriers and future carriers? Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe.